Now, every year, Skyway shows rapid development. In the year 2015, we had the starting of the construction of the Belarusian Skyway Testing Center at Eco Techno Park. And just a year later, in 2016, we had our first successful Unibike running tests on the light urban track at the Eco Techno Park. That's to tell you that within a year, we'd already constructed the track and the Unibike in the Eco Techno Park, and we had done successful tests on that track. In the year 2017, the track for the Uni-Truck and the Unibus and the Unicar had already been created and tested. The Unibus, the Unicar, and the Urban and Freight track had been tested in 2017 at the Eco Techno Park. Just a year later, in 2018, Skyway began constructing the Skyway Innovation Center in the United Arab Emirates. And in 2019, we had our first successful test of the Unicar running tests in the UAE on the 400-meter track. This is to tell you that the developments of Skyway has been showing an excessive rapid growth over the years. Now we're going to see a very short clip, about 3 minutes in length. What I want you to observe in this clip is the developments that have taken place in this Skyway string transport technology over the years up to this very point.
Yes, I'm here.
biggest takeaway from this video you've just seen is that Skyway is developing. You can be a part of the development of Skyway by investing. Now, the plan is very simple. Skyway has created this technology. Skyway has tested this technology. And now this technology is ready to be implemented on a global scale. We've already gotten pre-orders from several countries, and we've started implementing this technology on a commercial scale in the United Arab Emirates, which means if you are investing in Skyway today, you can be sure of receiving returns on investment from dividends and also from the opportunity to sell your shares in the stock exchange market. So this is what I can compare this opportunity with is the opportunity of purchasing Bitcoin as early as 2010, where you buy it for such cheap amounts, and then it becomes so valuable that when you resell it, you get your profits up to 1,000 times return on investment or 1,000% returns on investment. And anybody can invest in Skyway. We offer investments for any budget from $50 and above. So if you think maybe because we are talking about a multinational company into transportation that you cannot afford their investment package, you are wrong. Because they offer investments from as little as $50. So no matter what your budget might be, you can invest in Skyway. Another thing is that Skyway offers convenient installments. If you want to invest in a package and you cannot afford the package, you can divide your investment and pay monthly, either in 5 or 10 months. So if you want to invest in a package of $1,000, for instance, you can decide to pay $100 monthly for a spread out period of 10 months, and you secure that package. We have attracted investors over the years, and for now we have over 400,000 investors from different countries of the world, over 200 countries of the world. And they include businessmen, teachers, engineers, people from all walks of life, including students. They've invested in Skyway. So there is nothing stopping you from investing and securing shares in Skyway. Now, if you invest in Skyway, what perspective should you have as an investor? The first thing is dividends. Now, for those of you who invest in assets like cryptocurrency, you do not get dividends. What are dividends? Dividends are your share of the company's profit. Now, as a shareholder or a co-owner of Skyway, you are entitled to a portion of the profits of Skyway according to the number of company shares that you own. Now, when Skyway implements their projects successfully in different countries, you'll be receiving dividends, which is a part of the profit from the company's projects. Another thing you have as an opportunity is the opportunity to redeem your shares. The management of Skyway can announce the buyback of your shares. Now, this happened in 2018 and in 2020. Investors were able to exchange their shares for profit by several times. That's to say, some investors who wanted to redeem their shares were able to do so by selling their shares to the company at a higher discount. That's the company bought back the shares for a higher amount of money than the investors had bought them in the first place. So the investors made profits from reselling the shares to the company. That's a process called redemption of shares. I will talk more on it later. And your ownership of Skyway shares, this is something that is like you own it, your property, so you can even bequeath it to your next of kin as an inheritance. Your Skyward community back office has a place where you can fill in the name of your next of kin, so that in the event of a passage of assets to your next of kin, there can be an easy way to trace and pass on your assets in Skyway to your next of kin. Now, somebody said something very recently. He said, a time will come when parents will no longer give their children lands and property, but rather they will give their children username and password as inheritance. And that time, I can tell you, is already happening now. Where we have investments in cryptocurrency, investments in assets like the purchase of Skyway shares, you'll see people handing over usernames and passwords as an inheritance to their children and their grandchildren. Now, another perspective is when Skyway goes on the stock exchange market. When Skyway is listed on the stock exchange market, I can assure you the nominal, that is the initial value in which they will go public, will be many times higher than the amount you are buying those shares for at the present moment. Please, if your audio is on, for the last time, mute your audio. Thank you. Because if I have to mute it myself, it means I will stop sharing my screen and then I'll go back, mute your audio and come back here. The back and forth will be too distracting. Can you just mute your audio? Look at your audio and see if it is unmuted. If it is unmuted, mute it. If you unmute yourself, it means that we will be hearing everything that's going on around you. Every single word, every single sound, we'll be hearing that interference in the meeting. So kindly mute your audio if your audio is not muted. I can still hear the person whose audio is not muted. Kindly check if it is you and mute yourself. Now, as I was saying, when they are listed on the stock exchange markets, the price will be several times more than the value at which you are buying it. So now somebody's audio is still. Mr. Sifamandla, your audio is on. Please kindly mute your audio. Kindly mute your audio. Thank you. Thank you very much. So as I was saying, when Skyway goes on the stock exchange, the value will be several times more than what you are buying them now. You are buying Skyway shares, for those of you who don't know, the most expensive Skyway package, you are buying it at, you're buying 900 shares for $50. That's the cheapest package of Skyway. And that package is also coincidentally the package with the least discount. The discount that package has is 18 shares per dollar. And you are buying that package $50 for 900 shares, which means for every share you buy, you are spending $0.05. $0.05 to buy one share. And that is the most expensive package because it has the least discount. For other packages that have a better discount, you are not even spending up to $0.05. So that's to tell you that what you are buying these shares for now is several times less than what they will cost in the very near future. Now, this is a very interesting aspect. How is an investment transaction legally formalized? Now, some of you will say, oh, you are just investing online. So how is that even a legal investment? What can you use as a yardstick to say, yes, you are a shareholder of this company? How are you sure you are not being scammed? Now, there is an agreement that's called the Convertible Loan Agreement. When you are investing, you will see that agreement, and then you will read through that agreement and sign that agreement. When you register an investment based on that agreement, you are telling Skyway that you are giving them your money as a loan, which will be converted to shares in the company when the company eventually begins to make profit, and which you will use as a means to receive dividends from the profits of the company. Alternatively, you can decide not to sign that agreement. And in that case, it means you are just giving them your money as a loan, which they will use for 3 years and then pay you back with up to 4% interest on the amount you invested. Now, just as I was saying, as an investor, if you sign the convertible note, the convertible loan agreement, you will be getting shares in your ownership. That's to say, for the money you are providing Skyway, they'll be giving you shares in exchange. Company shares in your ownership is what you get in exchange. Alternatively, if you decide to invest, but you do not sign the requirements, you do not sign the agreement, it means that you are providing those funds to the project on the terms of a loan up to 3 years with a profit of up to 4%. Now, these are the investment offers of Skyway. We have these special offers which have very high discounts. We have the InnoTrans offer. And this offer, when you are investing in it for the very first time, you will be getting a discount of 33 shares per dollar. This package costs $1,000, which you pay once, and you get 33,000 shares in your ownership. If you invest in this package a second time, you will get a better discount of 38 shares per dollar. That means you will be getting 38,000 shares for $1,000. Then if you invest in this package a third time, you get a better discount of 47 shares per dollar, which means you'll be getting 47,000 shares for $1,000. We have the offer of Quick Start, which gives you 18,000 shares for $600. And this $600, you can pay it in an installment period for 2 months, paying $300 per month. You also get 1,800 shares as bonus if you are to pay the 2 months at once. If you make a double payment of this $600 at once, you will be getting additional 1,800 shares. Then if you have a child, anybody below 18 years, registered on Skyway, there are offers that they can purchase for themselves, or you can purchase for them. We have the offer of Kid. These offers are only available to children. Now, the Kid package gives 19,665 shares to your child with a discount of 31 shares to 34 shares per dollar. And you invest $585 to secure this package. And you have the option of paying it in installments of $65 per month for 9 months. It includes 18,135 shares as base shares with a bonus of 1,170 shares and an additional bonus of 360 shares. And then we have the student offer, which gives 46,760 shares at a discount of 32 to 35 shares per dollar. And you invest $1,350 for a period of 9 months where you pay $150 per month. Please, if you are listening to what I'm saying and you are not very clear, you have questions, note your questions. At the end of this meeting, you will ask me whatever questions you may have. Now, we have investment offers in installments. You can make a larger investment and get more shares, but you can split the payment for this investment package into 10 months. The discount will be fixed for you for the whole period of payment and will not change, even if the project moves to the next stage of development during this time. What this means is that when you start securing a package in installments, the discount at which it was when you began making payments will remain fixed for you throughout the duration of your 10-month payment. So we have the installment for $50,000, which you pay over a period of 10 months in installments of $5,000 per month. That gives you 2,500,000 shares at a discount of 50 shares per dollar. We have others like the installment of $25,000, which gives you 1,200,000 shares for a discount of 48 shares per dollar. We have the installment for $10,000, which gives you 450,000 shares at a discount of 45 shares per dollar. For this, you can pay $1,000 per month for 10 months. We have cheaper packages like the installment of $5,000, which you can pay $500 per month for 10 months and get 190,000 shares. We have the business package, which gives you 66,000 shares, and you can pay these off for 10 months at $200 per month, and you get a discount of 33 shares per dollar. We have the steady package, which is the most preferred package for many people here in Nigeria and in South Africa. I don't know why, but this package gives you 31,000 shares at a discount of 31 shares per dollar, and you pay $100 per month because the total price for this package is $1,000. If you are to make double payments in your very first month, you will get a bonus of 1,000 shares addition to your 31,000 shares. We have the package called Stigmio. This package gives you 13,000 shares for $500. And you pay for a period of 10 months, paying $50 per month. This package has a discount of 26 shares per dollar. Then we have the Start package, which costs a mere $250, which can still be paid off at installments of $25 per month over a period of 10 months. It gives you 5,750 shares at a discount of 23 shares per dollar. Now we have investment offers for all budgets. And you have from packages of $150,000 all the way to the least package of $50. Now, the package of $50 gives you 900 shares for a discount of 18 shares per dollar. But the package of $150,000 gives you 8,550,000 shares at a discount of 57 shares per dollar. So the person paying higher is getting a better discount of 57 shares per dollar, while the person paying lesser is getting a measly discount of 18 shares per dollar, which means the more you pay, the better you position yourself to get more shares per every dollar spent. That is to say, if you are buying bigger packages, you are getting better value for your money. How do you invest? The first thing to do is to get back to the person that sent you this video or invited you to this Zoom meeting and register using the link that they will give you. Register an account with the Skyway community website. Then, when you've registered and verified your account, you look through all the investment packages offered on the Skyway community back office, choose the one that is convenient for you, fund your Skyway community wallet, Skyway community wallet, and make payment for the package that suits you. And after you are done making payments, you will get a certificate and an extract from the register confirming your ownership of those shares. Note that as the Skyway project moves to a new stage of development, the discount on the company shares is reduced. What does that mean? Skyway has 15 stages of development, of which stage 15, the conclusion of stage 15 is the initial public offering, the entry into the stock exchange market. We are currently in stage 14. Now, when we were in stage 1, in the stages of development, the discounts were higher. $1,000 then could get you 1 million shares. But when we move to a higher stage, the risks are considerably lesser. So the discounts are also considerably lesser. It's like when the risk of the company is very high, your investment gives you higher amount of shares. And when the risk is now lesser, your investment gives you lesser amount of shares. Currently, we are in stage 14, which means everything you've just seen now is applicable only to stage 14. And if you do not invest now, when we move to stage 15, which may happen anytime from now, probably in the month of June, it's possible that you will not be getting these shares at this discount. You'll probably be getting it at a higher discount, at a lesser discount, and you will be spending more to get the same number of shares you would have gotten easily if you had invested in stage 14. And after the final stage of development, after stage 15, once this company is listed, you can no longer become a co-owner of all the technology. Rather, you can only invest in targeted Skyway projects. For example, if Skyway was doing a project from, let's say, in Nigeria, they were doing a project in Lagos, you can only invest in that project and receive profits from that project. Whereas somebody who has invested as a co-owner by buying the pre-IPO equity shares of Skyway is a co-owner of the entire technology and can receive profits from any Skyway project anywhere in the world. Now, this is a very interesting story, the story of Peter Obi, who lost out on an opportunity to invest in the pre-IPO shares of Zoom Telecommunication. This very same Zoom that we are conducting this meeting on. You see, I'm just going to read through the news here. It says the ex-Anambra State Governor, Peter Obi, revealed how he lost out on an opportunity to invest with the popular teleconference and online chat service app, Zoom. He said this at a webinar which held on Saturday. He said that the investment was less than 30 cents, an opportunity he should have seized with both hands. He said, I was telling someone a few days ago how in 2015, I met people where I had gone to do a program in the United States, and they came out and told me about the Zoom business that just started. As of that time, it would cost you less than 30 cents to invest in Zoom if I wanted to do so. Now, on the other slide by the right, you can see Zoom video communication with a price of $327.22 US per share. The same Zoom video communication that was sold at 30 cents in 2015 is now selling at $327.22 US in 2021, just 6 years later. That means if Peter Obi had invested $1,000 as at when Zoom was selling at 30 cents per share, he would have purchased 3,333 Zoom shares. And as at the time that Zoom was selling at $327.22 US per share, those shares would have been worth $1,090,624.26 US per share. What does that tell you? An opportunity you miss today, you may regret it tomorrow. They say the opportunity of a lifetime must be seized within the lifetime of that opportunity. So I urge you, join the Skyway project that is being developed in Belarus and in the United Arab Emirates. Thank you very much. It's now time for your questions. If you have a question, kindly indicate, and then you can either use the chat box to ask your questions, or you could just unmute yourself and ask your questions. You can use the react button to raise your hand if you have a question. Locate the react button. If you have a question, raise your hand so that I can call you and then you state your question. Let me use this opportunity to recognize the presence of those of you who are with us. I have Mr. Adeoye Yusuf, Mr. Daz Ahmed, Mrs. Lydia Mutumani, Mr. Sifamandla. I can see your hand is up. Kindly unmute yourself and ask your question, sir. Go ahead and ask your question, sir. Kindly unmute yourself and ask your question. Locate the unmute button and click on it so that we can hear you. We cannot hear you, sir. Or you can use the chat box. You can type your question into the chat box and drop it there so that we can respond to it. Mr. Mandla, we cannot hear you. Kindly unmute yourself from your end. Click on by the bottom right of your screen. I don't know how it displays for you, but it should be at the bottom right. You will see a button saying mute. And if it is having a line across and it's displayed in red, it means that we cannot hear you. You have to click on it so that it will turn green and then we can hear you. I think that's your video you just turned off. What you want to do is the button beside your video, which is the mute button. That's what you want to click to unmute yourself. Can you see that button? Can you see a button beside your video button? It looks like a microphone. Just click on it so that we can hear you. Can you kindly unmute yourself? All right, well, Mr. Okay, good. I think I just heard you now. All right, go ahead and ask your question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. I need to know if I live in South Africa. So if I buy the shares, let me say I buy for maybe now I have 10,000 cash. Now, how many shares I will get?
So we have a package here. Let me just go quickly back there. So if you are to buy $10,000, how many shares will you be getting? Now let me go back to
yes, because I need to buy for like a family. Yeah.
Okay, so now back to the slide, you can see here, we have investment packages for every budget. And you said $10,000. You can see this package right here. I don't know if you can see it, but let me see if I can highlight it. Let me see if I can highlight this. Can you see this package here that I'm circling? Confirm that you can see that.
Yes.
That package gives you 470,000 shares for $10,000. So you are paying $10,000 and getting 470,000 shares at a discount of 47 shares per dollar. So to answer your question, if you invest $10,000, you immediately receive 470,000 Skyway allotment units convertible to shares on which you will earn dividends.
Oh, okay. Maybe how many years are you invested?
Sorry, I did not get that.
Maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years.
Okay. Now, when you become a shareholder of Skyway shares, it is not a 2 years or 3 years thing. It is a lifetime thing. These shares you own will give you profits for life. Let me explain something. Now, I would have to close this particular slide.
Okay.
And I will need to open my web browser and show you something really quick on my web browser. So, ownership of shares is not a short-term investment that pays you for a short period of time and then you stop earning after a while. This is not that. Now, what this is something very different. Let me quickly see if I can share my screen and share my web page and open and show you one or two things on my web browser. Okay, good. Let me share that with you. Can you see my web browser?
Yes, I see.
All right. Now, let us assume that you purchase shares with Tesla. That's the company that manufactures electric cars. If you have purchased shares with Tesla, can you see this? Can you see the the price of Tesla shares.
Yes,
you can
I
see
see.
this figure. Can you kindly call
That
out
I'm using
that
my
figure?
phone because I have a problem in my house.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah, now.
Can you see that figure I just highlighted? How much do you see there?
Six, 61, 61871.
That
true.
is $618.71. That is the current selling price of Tesla shares. Now, I want to show you how much it was when it was listed, first listed in the stock exchange market. You see this chart here at the very moment where my finger is, where this dummy finger is. You can see where it is. At the current date of today's date, which is 26th of March, 2021, the price of Tesla share is $618.71. Now, I've moved this finger to the very first time that this company was listed in the stock exchange market, which was on the 30th of June, 2010. Do you see how much their shares were selling in 2010? Their shares were selling at $4.77. That is less than $5. Now, someone who bought shares as when they were listed in the market at $4.77 and held on to those shares, today each one of those shares will be worth $618.71. Do you get this picture? I'm getting some disturbance from the background. So, ownership of shares is a lifetime thing. As long as the company in which you bought those shares is still in the market, your shares are still viable and they will still make profits for you. So I believe that answers your question. Owning shares is not something that happens within 2 or 3 years or something that pays you within 2 or 3 years. It pays you for a length of time, the length of time for that company's existence. And this company will exist even after we are gone. Mind you, we are talking about a corporation here with a life of its own. So even when most of us are gone, we can pass on our ownership of shares to our children and they continue earning profits on it. So this is a lifetime thing. Your earnings are lifetime. That's why we say lifetime dividends.
Oh, it's a lifetime dividend. So if are you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead. I can hear you, Mr. Mandla. You can go ahead.
My background is not right, actually.
Okay.
I'm outside. I'm not in a house because I don't have an internet in my house.
That's all right, Mr. Mandla. So I believe I've answered your question. So we could give room for others to ask questions so that we can wrap it up quickly. Any other question you have, you can send them on the chat group and I will respond to them.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So kindly mute your audio so that the background disturbance can also be muted alongside that. So if anyone else has a question, can you kindly indicate or drop it in the chat box? I noticed that Mr. Suleiman has just joined us. Welcome, Mr. Suleiman. And I also noticed Engineer Kabiru has also just joined us. Welcome, Engineer Kabiru. Pleasure to have you. So please, if anyone has any questions concerning any aspect of Skyway, which you want clarifications on, this is the time to ask. Does it mean that there are no questions? Okay, I see a question from Lydia on the chat box. You said mind the dollar and the rand. Madam, I do not understand your question. Can you clarify what you mean? Can you kindly throw more light on what your question is? What question you're trying to ask? Mrs. Lydia, can you kindly throw more light on what you mean by mind the dollar and the rand? Is this a question or a comment? Okay, while we wait for Mrs. Lydia, let me just quickly use this opportunity to say something about the system of funding your Skyway wallet. Now, we have the MasterCard option. We equally have the cryptocurrency option. And these are the two most frequently used options for topping up your Skyway account. Now, for the MasterCard option, there are some limitations, and some people have reported experiencing trouble with performing transactions using the MasterCard platform, which was integrated in the Skyway community back office. So most people use the cryptocurrency option through Binance, which is one of the cheapest cryptocurrency exchanges. But they charge you 20 USD Theta for every transaction at the moment. So when you are funding your wallet, remember to include the transaction charge on your payments so that your wallet can be funded successfully and the charge can be debited by the exchanger. So that's something that a lot of people have been having trouble with. So if you are funding lower amounts, the weight of the transaction charge will be heavy on you. But when you are funding higher amounts, like from $1,000 and above, you would hardly feel the weight of the transaction charges. Engineer Kabiru, you said people are asking, when will Skyway be entering IPO? Is there any clue? Now, what we do know here is that Skyway has 15 stages of development. And in our last meeting, one of the top experts was telling us that we should be anticipating the entry of Skyway into stage 15 in the month of June. Now, this is as a result of the developments that have been taking place in Skyway over the last few months. There is high anticipation that if we do not enter stage 15 in June, it will be happening in August of this year. Also, there are projects going on in the United Arab Emirates, some of which are for commercial implementation, which means that very soon dividends may be paid out to investors. And then there is something that I want you all to take note of, is the fact that the entry of Skyway into the stock exchange market is not the first thing that is going to give you, as an investor, profits on your investment. Now, Skyway will, of course, be entering IPO after stage 15. But when Skyway starts implementing commercial projects, even if they have not listed on the stock exchange market, you will receive dividends. So your first returns on investment is going to be dividends, not the opportunity to sell your shares in the stock exchange market. Now, I just dropped a message to that effect on the group. Engineer Kabiru, I want you to take a look at that. I've just dropped a message on the verified members group answering this question in more details. So kindly look at that message and forward that message to the people who have been asking you when Skyway will be entering IPO. That message I just dropped now on the verified members group should be able to respond successfully to that question. So do we have any other questions? Because we are a little bit, we've mastered the time limit for this meeting. And I would rather that we wrap this up and continue next Saturday. Meanwhile, I have some persons here. I don't know if they have registered and verified their accounts. I have Mr. Adeoye Yusuf. Mr. Adeoye Yusuf and Mr. Suleiman Shogbamu. And then I have Mr. Daz Ahmed. I'd like to know, are you prospects of Skyway or are you partners? Have you registered with Skyway on the Skyward community website, or are you yet to make that decision? Adeoye Yusuf, can you kindly respond?
Mr. Bossy?
Yes, good evening. Are you a partner of Skyway?
Yeah, good evening. Actually, I'm a partner on Skyway. Definitely, I am.
Great.
And I'm on a package of $600.
I'm guessing
I'm
you
still
are
paying
in the team of Miss Oyefunke in Ogun State. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. That's correct.
Great. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I noticed
Thank you very
our
much.
top expert has just joined us. Let me have the pleasure to welcome Pastor Ene Udu, who is one of the top experts of Skyway and a curator of the Skyward community. Good evening, sir. It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah. I'm just at a dark light, might not see my face, but my voice remains the same. Thank you for the great job that you are doing to have an understanding of the technology and also the vision and the plan of the Skyward community. It's quite amazing. It promised to be a very big dream because, as you may know, during the week, UNESCO released the first the picture of the container string carrier, which is the first in the world. And so it just suggests to us that the company putting up a lot to make sure that it will position ourselves as a leader in the transport industry. That's crowdfunding, which is a new method of generating funds. And many people are still not comfortable with that because it looks so cheap to be part of this way crowdfunding work. Crowdfunding work like a computer. The computer does not recognize a book. Computer only recognizes and touch the keys. And it depends on what you do. So the crowdfunding is also such a system that does not recognize the poor and the rich. And so anyone can be part of the crowdfunding and then receive the benefit of the project. And so I want to thank you and welcome you for the great job that you are doing. But let me say this, that it will be one of the disservice to any of our friends if they don't hear about Skyway from our mouth. It's a disservice. Because if you ever let them know that, and they come to know that you are aware of the project and the kind of money and the success that will come your way, and then your friends and family members were not informed about it, they will not be happy about it. So we want to encourage us that let's take the advantage, let's behave like the Arabs. The Arabs sometimes don't invent anything, but they can go for anything that can interest them and that can bring them to the prominence of the world. We can do the best to make sure that we grab a lot. The packages are there, as small as one-time payment of $100, one-time payment of $200, instrumental payment of $500 as the case may be. And so it's scalable. It fits in everyone. So thank you very much, Mr. John, and what you've done here. And I think the people should be appreciate your kind of inputs that you have also bring into the orientation programs, which you are doing is very superb. So thank you very much once again, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a pleasure to hear from you as always. We're really grateful for your presence in this meeting. So Mr. Suleiman Shugbamu, your name seems unfamiliar to me, so I'm guessing that you must be a prospect. If you can hear me and you can kindly unmute yourself, introduce yourself, let us know if you're a prospect or a partner. While we wait for Mr. Suleiman, I can also notice a name that's a bit unfamiliar, Mr. Daz Ahmed. If you're a prospect or a partner, you can kindly introduce yourself, let us know. And if you're a prospect, kindly get back to the person who invited you for this meeting and get a link to register an account on the Skyway community website. So while we wait for them, I just want to raise emphasis to what our top expert has just said. Take advantage of the Skyway partnership program, the Skyway community partnership program. This is an opportunity for you to share this Skyway investment with your friends and family who will not be pleased to hear about such an opportunity in existence and that you are aware and you did not tell them. And when you tell people about this opportunity, the program of Skyway marketing plan is such that you get rewarded in commissions from 15% and above just by sharing this opportunity. Such that if you are to invite someone to take a look at this opportunity and they pick the interest and invest in this business opportunity, what you will be getting will be 15% of whatever they invested. That is, if they invested in a $100 package, for example, to be paid off on monthly installments of $100 monthly for 10 months, every month they make their payments, you will receive $15. If they were to pick $200 package, you will receive $30 from every payment that they make. If they pick $300 monthly, you'll be getting from their monthly payments a commission of $45, and this will span a period of 10 months. Now, when you have 10 or more people paying their installments every month, and you are receiving this amount from different people in your team, you discover that the money is substantial enough for you to even make your own monthly payments without having to use your personal funds. So this is the beauty of the Skyway Community Partnership Program, and I urge you, take advantage of it. Once you have registered and verified your account, even before you invest, you can participate in the Skyway Community Partnership Program by simply reading through the terms and conditions, agreeing to the terms and conditions, becoming a partner, and your links will become active. And you can use those links to share this opportunity with your friends and your family. So once again, it's been a pleasure having all of you here, from Mr. Sifamandla and Ms. Lydia from South Africa, Engineer Kabiru from Auchi and his team, and Funke's team represented here by Mr. Adeoye, and these two persons here, Mr. Daz Ahmed and Mr. Suleiman. I don't know if you people are prospects or partners, but it's a pleasure to have you all. And I look forward to having you in our next meeting. Thank you very much, and build Skyway, save the planet.